Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to do a photo transfer today. So this is exciting. I have sped up these videos 1.2 to 1.3, so they're a little bit quicker than real life. But yeah, so how do we do a photo transfer? What is it and when do we use it? So you're seeing me here. I printed out a couple samples of croppings for this still life that I will be painting from life. It is in front of me, but I want to essentially skip the drawing phase of this by doing a photo transfer so that I have the composition ready to go on my canvas. So of course you're going to print this out in black and white. Your paper, it's what, an 8, is it? I'm not sure what A number it is, but it's 8 by 11 and a half or something, right? Your standard printer paper, which about corresponds to an 8 by 10. And right now you see me, I'm kind of folding it over. I'm saying, I think I'm going to go with the smaller printout, and I'm going to uh, locate it in about this area on my 8 by 10 canvas. So I tape it, and you basically create a hinge with the paper. You tape it to one side, and yeah, so you see there now, I'm going to show you, you can basically open and close that paper. That's my solvent. So I have my solvent here on the right, and you can see my iPad as well. So what I did is I actually exported the iPad composition that I had done in Procreate because I liked it so much. And I want to start with my mock-up in Procreate, where I sometimes move things around or I add things like plants, and so you can use this technique. This is yellow ochre, so I'm using a cheap yellow ochre to do my photo transfer. You can use burnt sienna. Try using, usually a transparent color will work better, but any color will do, maybe not too dark. So there you go. You see the paper that it is hinged. That's the tape, right? So make sure that the photo version faces you, and when you flip it over like this, you're going to be putting a lot of solvent into your paint and washing it over the paper. It probably will soak through in some areas and get soggy, but you essentially want to cover as much as this as you want to transfer your drawing through. So what I'm saying is don't put paint on a part of this paper where you don't plan to actually transfer the drawing, but probably you want to transfer the whole thing. So this is pretty viscous. It can work thicker too, but if you push the paper down and it's too thick, it'll leave big marks of paint, and then the drawing won't transfer over too well. And since the point of this is to transfer the drawing, it's probably better to go too thin than too thick. So yeah, so I had this picture. I started with the picture on Procreate, and then I started changing the colors and moving the cupcake around. I'm kind of just saying, do I like this? Like in my head, I had this idea of how the camera is going to be on the cupcake, but is that making sense? So I figured that out in Procreate, and I really liked it. And then I said, well, look, really quick, I can just transfer this over. And one of the main reasons to do this is to make sure my composition is correct. I can really struggle sometimes with making sure that things don't get excessively large. I just love this composition so much. And by doing this transfer, it allows me to preserve that. Okay, so I just taped over one side of it, and so that it's now taped on both ends. It's not going to go anywhere. And I grab a colored pen, usually blue or red is preferred, and I'm just going to start pressing into and drawing over the outline essentially of all the areas that I want to push through onto the canvas. So I'm taking a pen right now and I'm outlining the camera, the cupcake, anywhere that you would normally make a line. That's what I'm tracing it, is what I'm trying to say. And try not to put your side of your hand into the paper because you'll force the drawing, the paint will essentially smudge and then you won't see your line as well. So just bear that in mind. So yeah, just going through, you don't need to push particularly hard. Where the pen is pressing essentially pushes the paint into the canvas and leaves back like a hard line. Okay, so I think I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. So you guys are going to watch me now go around the entire photo and just put in those lines. Especially this lens, actually, that could really give me trouble, the perspective of an ellipse, you'd be a bother. But yeah, I really liked the composition of this, so I was happy to get it through and then start painting. Okay, so I take the tape off. We're back into ish real time now. Cut it with a box cutter just to make it smoother, and when I lift it up, I should see my drawing go through. Oh, and I do. And do you see that smudged area? That's where I either put too much paint in or I probably pressed with the side of my hand, which I often do. But yeah, the photo transferred through, and oftentimes at this point, you might have missed some lines, and maybe you want to put those, you forgot to trace something, you can still go add it back in, of course. And yeah, we are all ready to go. So yeah, that's it. That's photo transfer. I use it with my workshops so that everyone gets started on a good base, and I definitely recommend give it a go. Could really just save you some time, especially if you just want to lash in there with some paint. This is a pretty handy starting point. So, all right, see you guys.